So good afternoon, Jane. I'm just wondering if
Hi,
you're
Steve.
interested. Hiya. Just wondering if you're interested in seeing a demo or something pretty exciting we've been working on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been working on because obviously it's a buzzword at the moment. We've been building a tool set that allows councils to build services in a pretty rapidly. So the typical council has 400 services, and our tool set allows them to basically create services very rapidly, and then allows them to store data in Dynamics and view them in Dynamics, and so rather than having to spend days and days and days defining services and setting up entities and tables and columns, etc., and forms, we've come up with a mechanism to allow them to build those services really rapidly. Creates an API, but because we're creating an API and it's service first, so we're creating service definitions first, creating a really rich API that allows us to then connect agents to it, so we can connect Copilot agents. We've got a really good demo here. So I've got council services agent. If I click through to that, it allows us to test the agent. So if I say, right, so what's your favorite council service? And hopefully it's one of the three that I've got connected. So
Oh well, given my current situation when they haven't collected the wheelie bin, then it's got to be bins.
yeah, everybody's favorite. So
Yeah.
would like to report a missed bin. So what that's doing is the agent knows it's got so many services it can talk to, because we've connected it to the services, and it knows that missed bin asks for bin type, date, and address. So it's saying, please provide the date of the missed bin. So we'll just set today. And then, so please provide the address. So we'll just say 22 The Grove. And then what type of bin that was not collected. So let's just say it was the black bin. So that's collected all the information. It's now submitted it to Dataverse, and that'll be available for somebody in the back office to go into Dynamics and interact with that missed bin. And it will have created a case. It will have created all the metadata associated with it, and they can manage it in Dynamics. So also because we're service first, we've created the API. We can do the exact same thing for ChatGPT. So let's try that with ChatGPT.
Wow.
So what can I report? Teresa's just going to tell us what services it's connected to. So you can report a follow missed bin, faulty light. So let's do another missed bin. I would like to report a missed bin. It was today, and my address is 22 The Road. Oh, now you see what it's done there. So since your address is 22 The Road, it knows that bin collections are currently delayed by 1 day.
So clever.
Yeah. So what we've done there is we've given it some knowledge. We've given it a list of disruption. So I've just given it like an Excel spreadsheet with so I've just got the road in there. So if I say, okay, it was not 22 The Road, it's 22 The Grove. So just pretend I've typed my address in wrong. Yeah, so no collection delays there.
Oh, right.
Knows it was today. I'm going to say it's the green bin. So now it's just asking me if I want to talk to Dynamics. So now it's talking to the endpoint, which flows into Dynamics. It's going to log the missed bin at 22 The Grove. So now we're here. I think, well, I'm on the phone with the council. I don't want to report anything else. So I've got a pothole outside my house, and it's pretty huge. So I'll say, also, I have a pothole right outside my house. It's huge, so huge the cat fell in and missed its breakfast. So that's just, you have a conversation with somebody on the phone, and that's what you might say to them.
Yeah.
So hit return, off we go. So it's basically saying, okay, it's your address outside your house, approximate size. It's huge, so it's going to mark it as large. Huge isn't in the list. So if it's an online form, you've got small, medium, large, and you say, oh, it's huge, it's going to go, no, please enter small, medium, or large.
Yeah.
If you're talking to a person, they kind of realize that. If you say huge, you know, large is the nearest match. And it's also going to mark as hazardous because I've talked about the cat falling in it. And then it's just asking for extra details. So I said, please go ahead. So we'll just say we're going to allow it to talk to Dynamics or to the connector. So the hazardous pothole has been reported. And what else we can do as well, we can say, okay, thanks. Please, can I have an update on these? So when it's logged into Dynamics, without going too much into technical details, it's put them on a queue, and then the queue is going to process them. And then because I've asked for an update, it's checked the status of the queue. So here it said, the missed bin 22 The Grove logged successfully with a reference SR1071. Hazardous pothole outside the Grove logged successfully with a reference of SR1072. So then if we go into Dynamics, we can see in here. So if I just go here, go to service requests, we can see we've had a missed bin that's been reported. In fact, this one here, this is one that we reported from ChatGPT's Copilot. Well, sorry, ChatGPT Copilot's agent. Yeah, so this is a report from Copilot's agent. You see there, black bin, the Grove, and that's the address. And then we can also see the other one reported from ChatGPT, the Grove, green bin, the date. And then if we look at the other service request, you can see the pothole, and that was reported today, hazardous, large, the Grove. And it's also, you know, just put, it's not repeated what I said, because that wouldn't make sense, you know, but it's, yeah, there a large pothole, hazardous, cat fell in it. So it's, you know what I mean? It's useful information.
Yeah.
But it's not just transcribing exactly what I said. It's doing what a person would do.
To condensed it in a more of a summary. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and in the back office, so in Dataverse, there's no table for potholes. There's no table for missed bins. There's no table for bulky waste collection or you know, antisocial behaviour, because the faulty streetlights and missed bins are managed by an external system. What we've defined those as in the back office, we define those as generic services. So because they're generic, they don't need, you know, their own entity, their own table. And what happens here when we look at these in Dataverse, the ones that are generic, when you open them up, it's actually using a web resource to render this information. So it's completely generic. You can add and remove fields without doing any schema changes. And then the metadata itself is stored inside an elastic table. So it's stored in Dataverse, but it's not, you know, you don't have to go into. That means from deciding what the service is and defining the fields to making it available to an agent or to a web form or to a Microsoft form or to a Microsoft Flow, you're talking minutes worth of development rather than hours, days, or even weeks.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, so I've got some more technical details to show how we build those. If you want me to show you those.
Yeah.
Cool. So I suppose this might not be of interest to some of our audience. So we've got Service Builder. So here we're defining the services. So you can go in, you can create new services, or you can look at an existing service. So if we look at our missed bin service, look at the definition. So it's called missed bin. This is a kebab case. This is what the REST endpoint becomes. This is a friendly name. This is a service description. The service description flows to the agent, be it ChatGPT or Copilot, so it knows what this service does. That's what this is for. It's a generic service. If we mark this as a concrete service, it would create all the entities in Dynamics and all the fields against the new table stroke entity. And these are all the metadata fields it asks for and required, yes, no. And then if it's an option set, these are the values. So then when we publish that then becomes available in the via the API. And if it's a concrete service, it will automatically create all the tables in the background. So if we were to look at the definition of those when they're published, so if anybody's suppose if any developers are looking at this, they will know what Swagger is. So Swagger is a tool that lets us build an open API specification. So this UI here is generated from the services that are defined. So we've defined MissBin, it's version 1, and it allows us to report a bin, which is a description that we saw in the service builder. It takes these parameters, and I can try it. So I can just say, okay, then address by address, and then I can submit that, and that's the same as the agent talking to it, and we can see it's unauthorized. I've not put the key in, but yeah, we've got some security going on there. So that would, if I had put the right security key in at the top, that would have would have submitted it to Dynamics. But that just allows you to connect anything into the backend system. So yeah, no, we're pretty excited about that. So it's basically service first approach to so I suppose a while ago we kind of create, we'd go, everything has to be like, oh, you got to create websites for everything, and that's how people are going to interact. But now, if you create a really well-defined service, it means you can interact with it via a web form, Microsoft Flow, Power Platform, Canvas app, Copilot agent, ChatGPT agent. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, it just looks so user friendly. I mean, not just for the council, but for the council's end users as well.
Yeah.
That's great.
The ultimate vision is once you've got it working from, once we've got defined all these services, and you've got Microsoft Teams, you've got Copilot agents, what's wrong with somebody phoning up the council and having a conversation? The agent on the other end, which is AI, conversing with the user and understanding what they're saying, letting them report misbins and faulty streetlights, and then if the conversation starts to go wrong, it would then pass that on to a real person. So you can start start it as a as an agent, and then eventually it will it will go to a real person if the conversation isn't going in the right direction.
Yeah, so no one's going to be excluded from it either, are they?
No.
Which is right.
Yeah, no, and then like I said, with walking centres, you could have forms, and people could go to a kiosk and say, if you've got like let's fix all the potholes in council X, you could have a walking centre, and you just type in where your pothole is, click submit, and you could quickly build those terminals with those with tablets on them with Microsoft Forms. It's not just for agents, for ChatGPT agents. So
that's
cool.
Great. I look forward to seeing this in the real world, particularly around council.
Hopefully. Yeah, it's going to be quite exciting.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for showing me, Steve.
Yeah, cool. No, you're welcome.